audiobooks. And one of the best lessons I got from that was just breathe like a normal person. Because when you are used to fighting your breath, like powering up, getting ready, and then doing it for the time, you have a very kind of conflict-oriented relationship with your breath. And in audiobooks, especially if you're like talk to yourself as different characters within the book, just like adopting a gentle shift of sensibility or energy, not having to worry so much about it has to be this entirely different A versus B thing, but that you can just go gently, this is their persona, and I will adopt that energy for the moment. And that's really freeing, rather than all having to be like separate and unmixed. I think we're much smarter than that. We don't have to be that. And it gets a little hammy, it gets a little cartoony when you hear audiobooks where it's like, I'm the character A, but I'm character B. We're like, nobody wants this.
Nobody talks like that.
Just me. Hey, I'm character A. Yeah, and I'm character B. And that's enough. And then all of a sudden you're like, now let's talk. Let's just be real people in these books.
Yeah, that's cool. I think, I was trying to just think of like the whole spread. My earlier work was mainly like dubbing and looping and like ADR stuff and like filling in kids at a park or like dubbing some French movie in English. And something that I think I learned to do and probably overlearned to do, and now I'm like de-learning, is just hyper analyzing the level of somebody's emotion. And so when you have somebody on screen and you're supposed to match their intensity, their kind of tone, and like their vibe, if you're like doing a 12-year-old girl, or you're doing like a 17-year-old like super annoyed daughter, whatever, or like a fish who's crying or whatever, you're trying to like match that and then release it and not overthink it once you deliver the line. So it's kind of an intense, like, quick change of like, wait, how open is their mouth? How loud are they yelling? How much of a big breath do they take? Let me try to match that. And so there's all this overthinking, and then you kind of like code that really quickly, and then you don't think about it, and then you just like do it. And as I've gotten older, I realize like I will enter a room and I will just try to energy match immediately. I'll be like, where is this person? Let me come in at their level so that we can be like the same, and we can like be on whatever, the same like communication level. And that's exhausting. And also it doesn't, like, I don't know, it doesn't authentically necessarily portray me all the time, which isn't necessary to always authentically portray yourself, especially if you're walking into an audition room. Maybe it does help to energy match, but that's just something that I realized I did a lot, and then I still do, I think, subconsciously, where I'm just kind of like, ooh, like, what's the vibe? Okay, I'll like match it. And it's like, sometimes that's helpful, but sometimes it's not. So, I don't know.
But I think a lot of people would relate to that, because people-pleasing is often a sign of, hey, I want to succeed here, but I have this fear. And so we code switch and we align to best set ourselves up for success, but we diminish our truth, and then we feel a little bit exhausted because this is a mask we keep wearing.
And it just, it's almost like, because I've an issue with like the people-pleasing thing, because I don't feel like I do it, so it's like, oh, I want them to definitely like me, or for them to like I just want it to be easier. Like, it's easier to communicate and easier to coexist in the space for me too, if I'm on the same level. So I feel like it's not necessarily about that, which is why I was like, I don't know if it's a people-pleasing thing for me as much as like, I just want it to like be easier to like enjoy the company that I'm in, as opposed to be like, oh, I hope that they like me because of it, if that makes sense. I don't know.
That does.
Slight difference, I think.
Yeah, no, all of this is great. I guess like, I agree, and they all apply, especially with the breathing. And I think for me, something that like kind of like took a while to realize is that like you are enough. What you personally bring to the table, you are enough. And every single actor, their life experience is going to color how they interpret a character, how they interpret a scene, and what's meant for you will come. And if you try to be like, what does this person want from me in this audition? Like, what do they want? Like, it's just, you're gonna just get farther and farther away, I feel, because there's no way to know. And people don't really, people who are in casting positions don't always know what they want either. So you're like,
they don't.
Usually they don't until they hear it, and they're like, that's what I want. And it has something to do with the specs sometimes. So if you just like, and it's hard because like, I feel like, you know, like everybody is like insecure, like, you know, everybody has moments of like, you know, like self-doubt and stuff. So just remembering like, you know, like, no, like my life is unique to me, and however I read this character, that's why I always remind myself, like, you know, this is the best I could do in the moment, this is the most me in the moment, and then let it go, and then what's meant for you will come back. And kind of like, it's very freeing in that way. And then also, I firmly believe in like a supportive working environment where there's enough work for everyone and we don't tear down our colleagues and stuff like that. And so like it also helps with that because it's like I have so many amazing, wonderful friends in this industry or people I don't know, but they're amazing actors, and when they get their wins, I want to be there being like, yes, like friggin' get it. You sound so great in this, and like that's meant for you, and I can let go of that easier that way.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like a win for one of
Yeah.
us is a win for all of us, and a win
Yeah.
for all of us is a win for one of us.
Exactly.
Good art is good art.
Yes, I
we
love
want-
watching good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
want
yes.
the projects to be good, so it's like,
Slay,
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said so far. But like, as far as like a role that really surprised me and like forced me to like evolve rapidly, I play Retsu in Street Fighter 6, who's like this 70-year-old bald monk. And like, look at me, I'm a precocious little scam. I can't do 70-year-old bald monk. I've got great hair. But doing that session, I had to access like a super low, like gurgly part of myself. Like I had to sound like this. And like, I never really played a character that had to like do that for an extended period of time. So it really forced me to like pace myself, to breathe, to like make sure that I'm taking frequent like breaks, and like whenever I felt like I was getting too stressed on my voice, I was like, hey, can we take a quick 10 just to reset so I can like grab like my nebulizer and just give myself a quick hit to just like make sure that my chords are okay. And like it was like the most that I like took care of myself during a session, and like ever since then I've been carrying that kind of level of care to all of my stuff. And it's really helped me like make sure that my voice is healthy, because it's our instrument. It's all we've got. So that's the thing. But like, you know, proper breath control helps a ton, and I'm like doing kendo when I was younger, and doing some martial arts also when I was younger helped me with my breath control, and like learning how to like breathe from my diaphragm was like huge. So yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all learned the importance today of breathing. Everybody take a deep breath in. Let it out. So we learned something new today.
And even like, you know, just to take that a little bit further, like really get your lower abdomen to inflate like a beach ball. It feels weird the first few times, but it becomes your power center. And if you are a person that normally breathes just in the top of your lungs, it's part of why your brain and body rebel. You're still half carbon dioxide. You got to expunge it so that that can replenish, and you can have what you're supposed to have is, you know, full lungs and all the power that that gives you.
Yeah.
Babies actually breathe from their
I know I'll never be the same. Shook my world so hard again. Wish I washed away my sins. He's a dead man walking, blank stare in his eyes. Should have given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down. Cold blood to the ground.